Howard County Board of Commissioners are now in session.
Please stand for the pledge and followed by the prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would stand for prayer, please. Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this opportunity that we can come together and do the work for the taxpayers of this community that we live in. We just ask that you watch over us, help us to make the right decisions, guide our decisions, and help us through this meeting and help us each and every day. Watch over the citizens of this great county and city that we live in, and watch over the citizens of the state of Indiana and the United States. And it's in your Son's name that we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you to everybody for coming tonight. We'll jump right in with recognitions. Mr. Lipinski.
First, we'll do employee service recognition. 5 years of service, William Crow. Dakota Childers. 10 years of service, Sarah Pitcher. 15 years of service, Ingrid Volkus. 15 years, Casey White. And 25 years of service, Amy Smith.
We appreciate those years of service from our employees, our most important asset. Okay, Mr. Lipinski.
Well, it's my honor as a Western High School graduate myself. I won't tell you what year, Mitchell. It's been many moons ago. But as a Western High School graduate back in the 80s, it's my honor to do resolution number 2024 BCCR -05. A resolution of the Howard County Board of Commissioners honoring Western High School wrestler Mitchell Betts. Whereas on February 17, 2024 at Ford Center in Evansville, Indiana, Western High School senior Mitchell Betts won the state championship title for the 157-pound weight class at the IHSAA State Wrestling Finals. And whereas this is the first individual champion for Western High School since Coach Chad Shepard won his state championship in 1991. Whereas Betts is also the first Howard County wrestler to win a state championship title since 2017. And whereas by his dedication and determination, Mitchell Betts has distinguished himself and the Western High School community and deserves public recognition for these exceptional achievements. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Howard County Board of Commissioners as follows. 1, Western High School senior Mitchell Betts is hereby publicly recognized and honored for winning the 157-pound weight class at the IHSAA State Championship. And 2, the parents of Mitchell Betts, student body, faculty, administration, and community are hereby commended for their enthusiastic support of this exceptional athlete. And 3, in honor of his remarkable accomplishment, the commissioners hereby declare and designate March 4, 2024 as Mitchell Betts Day in Howard County, Indiana. A copy of this resolution shall be delivered to Mitchell Betts and shall be made part of the official records of the Howard County Board of Commissioners. Duly adopted this day, March 2024. We're going to ask that Mitchell and his parents, the superintendent of Western is here, Mr. Mark DuBois, the athletic director of Western is here, Mr. Aaron Hyman. We do have anybody else associated with Western. Principal Steve Edwards, come forward. And we do have a school board member here tonight from Western. And
Can you simulate all you guys on how many won?
you go ahead.
Hang on.
Go ahead, Brad.
Hang on, we'll come out there and present this.
Some have commissioners, actually.
He actually wanted to wrestle somebody from Eastern. So come on up.
All right.
Yeah, come on, somebody has it.
Sign it.
Okay, are you guys, when are you gonna come down and hand him
come
that
on.
resolution?
Sign it.
Sure. Go ahead, Jack. You're the president.
And if family wants pictures, I will move out of the way in just 1 second. I'm sure, what did you say? I'm short enough you can see over me. That was what you said, okay.
This is no small feat for somebody to win state championship. As a former wrestler, I know how hard that is, even though I was never able to achieve that. So congratulations.
One more time.
Thank you.
Mitchell, did you have anything you want to say to anybody? This is your chance.
Thank you, everyone.
You're welcome.
Go back and make sure that ball game goes, show a couple of your holes. He's running out, show a couple holes.
Thanks, everybody.
Hey, Mitchell.
If you don't want a sticker, you don't have to. So if you guys want to go. Yeah. Good job, man. Oh, golly. Yeah, if you want to tell them they don't have to stay.
I told him. Yeah, anybody that came here for that, you're free to go. If you want to stay, you can, but you're free to go.
You're more than welcome to stay and enjoy all this exciting stuff. I mean,
You're staying.
give them just a second here. Okay. Next, we have approval of previous meetings minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of last meeting.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those minutes are approved. Please make sure you get those signed. We're ready for departmental business and reports. Maintenance Department, Mr. Stone Street.
Good afternoon. I have 4 items. The first 2 are left over from 2023. We couldn't get to them for several reasons. The Howard Haven injector pit control panel we ordered when we agreed to purchase or approve the project last year, the control panel just arrived. So that's the reason for the delay on that. The government center concrete, 2 approaches. There's a north approach and an east approach that we wanted to replace last year. We didn't get to those either. There was somewhat of a shortage of concrete last year, and then the battery plant and all the construction going on kind of kicked that to the wayside. The ejector pit control panel I'd like to approve to pay for with 2024 funds from Coombe Cap Building Repair, 1138.47241 for a total cost of $7,450. And then the government center concrete, I would like to have that project completed for a cost not to exceed $18,000. And paid for from the same account, 1138.47241, the building repair account.
Okay. Thank you, Bill. We've heard that request.
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, those 2 items are approved.
Number 3 would be the highway dry storage barn. It's the gray building out there. It's gray because it's just sheet metal with tons of holes in it. The roof's got some issues, which caused some rot inside the roofing system. It definitely needs some love, and if we're going to keep it, it's got an excellent skeleton in it. It does need some power provided to it and an update there. I'll take care of that. But to re-side and re-roof the building, we're looking at $42,850, and that is a bid or a proposal submitted by Hearn Construction. I would like to pay for that from the same account. Building repair, 1138.47241.
Are you gonna be using it, Amber? Is it? Okay. I'll make the motion to accept the bid of $42,850.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
That is also approved.
And the final is the second door or second floor clerk's office door at the courthouse. It's wore out. It's not plumb. It's not level. It's hard to keep the the door closer satisfied and not bump the door as it's opening and closing. The trim's pretty rough. We'd like to put a new storefront glass door on there. It's a very high traffic door. I do have a bid, initial bid from Hearn for $3,000, roughly $3,900. But it appears we're not gonna be able to do that during working hours. So I've requested a quote to have them do it on off hours or Saturday or whatever. And that proposal from Hearn is $4,386. And I would like to pay for that from Coombe Cat Building Repair, which is 1138.47243. Or excuse me, building upgrades, 1138.47243. Once again, the cost with overtime, $4,386.
That gets a lot of use.
It never stops swinging all day long. It's just as busy as the front door of the courthouse.
Sure. Okay, you've heard the request.
Make a motion to approve as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
And that is approved.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Bill.
Okay, Highway Department, Amber Toll.
So I have 3 items tonight, and the first one is our Salt Barn Award. So we would like to go ahead and officially award Monroe Construction the Salt Barn construction bid, lump sum total of $985,710.00. We would also like to award the alternate bid for the garage door installation, and that bid is $86,708.60.
What's the time frame on this, Amber?
We hope to have it open and given back to us by the end of October of this year.
You worked hard on that, Amber.
It'll be tight. It'll be a tight schedule, but we are really hoping to move in by this winter. Yes.
Thank you for your work on that.
Thanks.
I know that was hard work.
Yes, and Greg Legg too. He's partnering with us, so.
I'll make that motion to accept that bid.
Second.
And we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
That is passed.
Amber, while he's signing, I know you got other business, but
Sure.
at 870 West on State Road 26, there's been construction going on out in that area
Yes.
for right to the Clinton County line for some time.
Yes,
There's no barricades,
correct.
and people are using the road, but there's signs that say the road's not open.
State Road 26. It is not officially open. So NDOT has not officially opened that roadway. However, they have plowed it over the winter and residents have access to that road. Oh, what did I say about that?
So is it closed or not?
It is not officially open. Can you use it?
I'm not sure what that means.
But they're not permitting anyone from using it, but there is still work to be done. It will be closed at some point for NDOT to finish up the work that they have to do there. So yes.
I guess if I was a resident out there,
It's not my project either, so.
I guess if I was a resident out there, I wouldn't know when they're gonna close it or not with that.
Yeah, I understand that. Typically, projects begin on April 1st and run through November
Sure.
30th. So I would expect it sometime around that time.
Thanks. I know that's not necessarily your problem, but I'm sure you get several phone calls as well as I do.
Yeah.
And I don't really have good answers for the people. And they say, well, it's not barricaded, but it says it's closed, but can I access it? I don't know. I had a sheriff's deputy tell me that they could be arrested. I said, I don't know. I don't know.
Technically, maybe. I know that NDOT is aware that roadway is very behind schedule. They did everything they could to get it open. They just didn't officially open it. I believe it's to keep larger semi-traffic off of the road as much as possible.
Maybe you could share our concerns with NDOT.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes. Yep. And we'll certainly post when it does get fully shut off. We'll post as much as we can to get the word out as well.
Thank
So,
you.
yes. Yep. Absolutely. So.
Okay,
Okay, my other thing, next one is the consultant on-call agreement. So this is an agreement with Lockmuller Group. We've had an on-call with them since 2021. That first on-call is expired, so we just want to reinstate a new on-call. This one is for a total of $30,000 to be used and expires December 31st, 2025. So this will allow us to seek consulting for anything that might come up, typically like a small structure design or any kind of consulting that we need an extra engineer on.
okay.
And where's that money coming from?
I have a line item for consultant in my budget.
Okay.
So, yep.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
All right.
That motion is passed.
Okay. And the last item I have is for a right of entry for County Road 1250 project. We had the west side property we signed at the last commissioners meeting. This would be for the property on the east side. This is just allows us access along that property so that we can build up those embankments as we need to. We don't need permanent right of way, but we do need access to those areas. We worked out an agreement with the property owner on the east side of the road. Alan was able to review those right of entries. And so we have that signed by the property owner, and we just need that approval and signed one commissioner.
Okay.
West, 1250 West, sorry.
You have an agreement already worked out, you said?
Yes, yeah, so this is the copycat of the agreement for the west side property owner. This is just for the east side property
Okay.
owner. Yep,
You have, that needs to be signed?
yes, yep.
Okay. Do you have that?
Mhm, yep.
This just needs
One commissioner.
one
signature.
signature, so I would ask approval for me to sign this.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
I also just wanted to say thank you for allowing the Bill to work on our other dry storage building. It's a building that we use all the time. It's not completely contained. It's kind of an open building, but it does house a lot of our equipment that we don't use constantly, but it does need saved, so I appreciate, thank you for that.
Sure,
Thanks, Amber.
Appreciate your work.
thank you. Okay, next is Plan Commission, Greg Sheeline.
Good evening. I just have one case before you this evening, ordinance number 2024 BCCO-08. It's a rezone at 59 North, 950 East from agricultural commercial to institutional. This is the Greentown Faith Life Church. They have bought the property across the road. I believe it's the old Greentown Veterinarian Clinic, and they want to turn that into a parsonage for their church. And there was no remonstrance at the meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thanks, Greg.
Thanks, Greg.
One place, right?
Thanks, Jeff.
Okay, next we have, under new business, we have Richeville Park and Tree Board. Come up to the podium, state your name and address for us, please.
Hi, I'm Rick Hopkins from 290 East Kinsey in Rushville. And on behalf of the Rushville Park and Tree Board, we want to thank the commissioners for allowing us to present our vision for a new inclusive playground in Rushville. This project would not be just a playground, but also a picnic pavilion and a restroom. Now, the main feature of this playground is to provide a place where all children can play together, regardless of physical ability. Playground would be unique in Howard County in that it would have inclusive equipment, a more usable playground surface, and the needed ancillary amenities such as a restroom. So we're going to go through this, and the first thing to cover is where it's located. It's immediately east of the Jeff Stout Community Center and Community Center Park in Rushville. So this is 8 acres owned by the town that's contiguous to the Lions Club and then also to the community ball fields. The Lions Club property is around 6 acres, a little bit more than 6 acres, and consists of their clubhouse and 3 ball fields. Then there's additional 4 acres owned by the ball leagues with an additional 2 ball fields. So in total, that means the properties come up to over 18 acres of recreational space in this one location for Western Howard County. Now, if you look at the map, you can see where the pavilion or the playground would be. The playground would be on the east of the walking trail and the orange arrow, and the pavilion playground would be on the west of the trail, the blue arrow. You can also see from the map that there is ample parking. There's over 150 parking spaces at the Jeff Stout Community Center, and that we designed this, we planned this, so that all of the handicap parking would be closest to that trail so we could get it to the playground. And so those are designated with like white dots on the map. Now, these facilities are much used. For example, on April 13, the Gene Parks Run is scheduled, and that will benefit the Carl Coon Scholarship and also Ainsley's Angels. Both runs will start at the Lions Club and will end on the trail close to where this playground is planned to be placed. As to who would use the playground, it is children, obviously, regardless of physical capability. The point is to have siblings be able to play together and not have to have one child off to the side. There's also another advantage to the poured-in-place rubber surface because it's not only good for the children if they're in a walker or a wheelchair, but also for caregivers. Now, we've been noticing that more grandparents are taking children to the parks and playgrounds. And some of them are using some form of adaptive aid, walker or scooter of one form or another. And this is something that a poured-in-place rubber surface will handle well, much better than chip or stone or mulch. Lastly, this project is not being built just for Rushville. Like the Lions Clubhouse, the Stout Community Center, and the ball fields, this is envisioned as a destination location for families from throughout the region. Now, the next thing is money, and that's important, obviously. The current estimates for our total cost in our complete design is around $550,000. And we know that that may go up when the bids actually come in. But we have a more immediate need, and that is to reach $250,000 in order to qualify for a 50-50 matching grant from the IDNR. So if we raise $250,000, we can ask for another $250,000 from them, and that's like the minimum. We have currently raised $192,000 in that, in pledges and cash. So, we're 58 short, and of our initial goal of $250,000. And this is where we would like the county to help us to get to that $250,000 mark. As to help to ensure accountability and transparency, the town of Rushville is the fiscal agent for this project. And the IDNR, they're the ones who do the final audit and final inspection before turning it over and doing final payments. We are familiar with this because the IDNR has also done this on previous projects from the Park and Tree Board, such as our tree planting project and our recreational trail project. They come, they send a team, they do the final inspections and such. So The next thing is timing. The deadline for the IDNR grant is August 1. And that's the limit for us to state our matching amount. And that's how much we can ask from them. Now, other contributions, if they come in, will of course be accepted with gratitude. But August 1 is the date for the application. Now, we currently have other fundraising activities going on, including in-kind contributions, which count towards that match, and a children's campaign at Western Schools, which I understand is going very well. Now, pending grant approval, this would probably begin in 2025. Well, you know much better than I, nothing goes quickly sometimes with I'll just leave it there. Nothing goes quickly sometimes. Finally, the most important part of this request, why should the commissioners consider it? Well, there's two main reasons. The first is doing right for our children, and that is to improve their quality of life and enhancing their feeling of acceptance. They're being able to play with each other. And the second is economic. We wish to improve the quality of place for the entire county. We want to make sure that our community is a more attractive place to live in. Now, when you think of all those new jobs coming to the new plants, we want to make sure that these families want to live in Howard County, that the amenities are here, and they won't feel that they don't want to live here. We want them to live and contribute here so that they don't just get in their cars and head off to India at the end of the workday. So in closing, we looked at some census data. Some of you know me and you think I really love numbers. We looked at census data in the 23 peer towns within a 25-mile radius of Rushville. In the 10 years from 10 to 20, the two census, 19 of these 23 towns lost population. 19. Now, Rushville broke that mold because on a percentage basis, it was the leader as far as population gain. But that was only one of 4 that gained population. All the rest lost, including 4 that lost double-digit numbers, percentage-wise. So, why? Well, there are many reasons. We've looked at this, we've talked about this in the Park and Tree Board meetings, and it starts with the schools. I think they all left. No, starts with the schools, and there's other things as well. But in the end, we believe that quality of life and quality of place, efforts like this inclusive playground, are the difference makers, and that's why we are asking for your support on this project. Thank you for letting us make this presentation, or letting me make my part of this presentation. And we also have the chair of the Park and Tree Board, Jill Newby, and the town clerk for Rushville, and Jill would also like to add.
Hi, Jill Newby, Rushville Park and Tree Board. I just wanted to give you a quote that is from Christy Hall. Christy is a resident of Rushville and a special education teacher and the mother of 2 children with disabilities. And she says, the addition of a playground for everyone would mean a lot for our community. It would provide a welcoming space for friends and families to gather, where children can play together, unhindered by obstacles that create separation due to a lack of accessibility. A place to foster togetherness, create happiness, and witness joy. It's what this world needs. So we are, as a Park and Tree Board, hoping to spread joy and happiness in our community and surrounding communities. And that's what's in our heart, and we hope it's what's in yours too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? I really appreciate the presentation. I will tell you, I've seen these parks in other places, and they do provide a wonderful place for people with disabilities. And Commissioner Lipinski brought this to me and started talking to me about it. And I'm excited that a place like this can start to happen in our community. I think you guys are to be commended for what you've done so far and the amount of money that you've raised. So I would commend you for that. So.
I mean, I think this project, I obviously live in the area. What, helped support the program when I was on the town board. And I just felt like it's an important thing for, I know it's in the Richville area, but I do think that it benefits most of the county. I think people could come there and kids could use it. So I do think it's a good project. I'm very supportive.
Would you like to take this under advisement so we can see what we can do?
Yeah, I think we should.
Absolutely. I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
So we will take this under advisement, but again, like I said, this is a great program. I've seen these parks in operation in other communities, and it's a great benefit to any community. And I'm not talking about just Rocheville. I'm talking about Howard County. So let us see what we can do, and I'm sure we could probably have Commissioner Lipinski get back with you, and we'll go from there. Okay, thank you guys for coming and for this information. So let us see what we can do. Okay. Hey, great. Good job. Okay. Is there any other new business to come before the commissioners? If not, we'll move into claims and reports. Salary claims.
$1,048,852.36.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, salary claims. Are all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The salary claims are approved. Payroll expense.
$1,048,852.36.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Payroll expense is approved. Operating claims.
$1,164,726.14.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Operating claims are approved. Do we have claims to ratify?
None.
Do we have monthly reports?
None.
Do we have any grants?
None.
You're on a roll.
I know.
Okay. Mr. Wilson,
I had nothing today.
Mr. Bray,
No, sir.
Mr. Lipinski.
Nothing.
Are there public comments? Mr. Paul,
Due to my limited physical abilities and my voice, I will not be speaking tonight. I'm going to have one of my board members. We were all there at the meeting that we had on that Friday, so he's very knowledgeable. So I'm going to have Blake Dahl representing the Howard County Memorial Corporation.
Mr. Dahl.
Thank you, Commissioner Dodd. Well, we're here on a positive note, and thank you, Jerry, for allowing me to speak on behalf of the Howard County Memorial Corporation. So we really just wanted to come tonight to announce that we are officially going to be having the Opha May Johnson Memorial at the Veterans Memorial Park off of Goyer Road. And we wanted to say thank you to the commissioners and Howard County for your amazing support and your contribution and your patience with us. I know it's been a process for this monument. We've been up and down with different locations, but we finally just decided on one, and we're going to be able to honor Opha May Johnson moving forward and making an attraction for people to come to Howard County. But especially from one veteran to another, Jack, we wanted to thank you for meeting with us one-on-one with the three of us with the board to discuss the different options that we might have here in the Howard County, and pledging to help find us an additional $5K to help offset the cost. And that is definitely going to help us out with the additional cost that we're incur of being over at the Veterans Memorial Park. So again, we just wanted to say thank you. thank you for working with us, and we hope that we'll be able to work with the county again on future projects. Thank you.
Thanks, Blake.
Thanks, Blake. Yes, sir.
Hi, thanks for your time, guys. Brad Simone, Eastern Howard County. First, I want to touch off on what the Roosevelt Tree Board said. They said they're trying to do a project that will improve the quality of a place as they try to make their community a more attractive place to live. Well, that's a
They did
great
say-
concept,
They
isn't it?
did say that.
They did say that. They were looking to have more people move to their community by building this park, okay? So that's exactly the same reasons I've been up here for 3 years. Because I'm trying to maintain my community's quality so we don't lose people, because that's exactly what's going to happen if we allow this solar project to come through, okay? Now, there's been some chatter out there that they're looking at the west side of the county. Honey Creek Township, for one. I know we have a commissioner up here that might live in that township, and he's probably not real fond of that coming to his township. But I still say, if this is so good for the county, like you all said, don't cap it, go all in. Show your true colors, and then maybe, you know what, the solar company might pay for that park. But I'm sure you don't want a bunch of solar panels around your house just like me. So my question is about this solar project is do we know when there's a start date for this project?
There's a what?
A start date for construction.
I don't.
I would think they'd have to go through all the steps like we've been told in order to have a start date. So I want to present something to you guys tonight. I stumbled around the Greentown area, the landowners. I even made one for you this time.
Thank you, sir.
Lots of lines.
Thanks,
And I
Brad.
highlighted what I was looking at. that
Thank you,
kinda
sir.
struck me as fancy. So if you look at this letter that came out, they've told all the landowners that their construction of the project is planned on September 10th, 2024. Now, my question is how can you have a date set when you have not been through the planning commission, you have not been through the county council, you have not been through the drainage board, and you have not been through you guys? So this is the kind of stuff this company's showing you. They're bullies. They're bullying their way through here. And if you want to know what 4.2 of their contract says, I might know that. It says they just bought themselves 18 more months on this project. Well, that's ludicrous. They're now taking land from guys that don't want the project. So now I know probably 98% of the people out there don't want this project. But for some reason, the commissioner seems like they are still not listening to their constituents and still want this project. And I've heard now it's because they want to build a jail. Well, that's not the reason to take away my property value, is for your jail. Matter of fact, if you wanted to do that, you should have put it in the ordinance to protect my property value, but you refused to do that. You said, we'll do an agreement. So we'll write a contract with an LLC who Brad Simone's already told us is gonna be bankrupt, and they're gonna file that in 5 years from the date they start their project. So I just wanted to point this out. These are the kind of things that's going on out there. They're going around telling people, you know what? I don't need your signature. I'll put my project on your land regardless. And that's what they're doing. That's exactly what they've done. And I'm not gonna say the name, but there's one guy that was mentioned to out there.
So let me just clarify something, Brad. This letter was sent to landowners?
Yes, sir. I am not a landowner. However, I've made relationships with landowners and I've educated these guys. And now I think about, like I said, 98% of those landowners, they don't want the project. Now I know from the beginning of this battle I've endured, you commissioners told me, except Mr. Lipinski, because he wasn't on the board at the time, was, if these guys went out, you tell them come in here and talk to us, we'll stop it. I know that's happened. I know they've reached out. I know they've had meetings. And now I'm hearing, well, they can contact their attorney and get advice. Well, that's not the answer we were given from the get-go. So there's a lot of smoke being blown, and I'm not real appreciative of it, okay? So, like I said, we even have court tomorrow. These guys are saying they're gonna do a project, and they don't even know what the court's decision is yet, unless they do know. Maybe they do know already ahead of time. Their project's gonna get approved. Because we've already talked to our buddies up here, we've all got everything set in place. So we're gonna get this through no matter what. So it's kind of frustrating, and then when they say things like, we paid enough money in the Howard County, we're gonna walk right through court. Well, who they paid the money to? That's what I'd like to know. So I'm trying to find out, because I'm gonna file Freedom of Information Act, and I'm gonna get every communication between you guys, any Howard County office, planning commission, drainage guys, everybody. I'm getting all of it. Phone, text, computer, everything. I'll be filing that this week, so.
I'm
frustrated, Jack, can you tell?
I'm perplexed when they say,
I am too. That's why I wanted to show you guys. I'm not, you guys act like I'm making stuff up. I'm telling you, I have been factual from day one with this project.
I'm no attorney, I'll leave this up to Mr. Wilson.
Well, Mr. Wilson's already stated he can't talk to me, so.
But I do know,
Till after tomorrow, then we're buddies again, so.
wait a minute, don't walk away.
I'm not walking away.
But I do know that there's a lot of steps they have to go through before they can start construction. just like
Apparently,
we
they must
talked
have them
about
all ironed
before.
out.
So I'm perplexed.
Mr. Seeline, I'll show you the letter as well if you want to see it. They're saying right here,
I'm not saying you're wrong.
September 10th it starts.
Can I speak? All I'm saying is, I don't care what they say, September 10th isn't gonna happen until they get a permit from my office. And for that to happen, I've already told them that all of the agreements that the commissioners have to approve, all that has to be done before I will even consider
I'm just
giving them, I'm just saying, no, I'm not saying you're
That's why
wrong,
I'm
I'm just
perplexed by
saying,
this.
they can say September all they want, until they get permits and go through the
Okay.
proper procedure.
Well, I just want to make sure
I
that-
won't give them a permit to start.
I just want to make sure I understood how this whole process worked, because that's what I thought.
The only
We've
thing
got
I-
all these steps we've got to go through.
I will not give them a permit
The only
until all
thing
the
I
other
can
stuff is
say
taken care of.
here is it says is planned. Now,
commence.
because like Rick just said, there's a ton of things they have to do.
So now, if you have a contract, go read 4.2. Well, I got it on my phone if you want to see it. I'll send it right to you right now.
Like, that's why I say I'm perplexed. I'm gonna leave that up to our attorney, but
But that's the stuff that's going on out there, and I don't appreciate it. Matter of fact, I don't appreciate them taking advantage of our elderly, because if you look at the farmers out there that signed on, the majority are elderly. They got taken advantage of, they got snowed, now they've been educated, now they want out, and nobody wants to help them. So, that's all I got, guys. Thanks for your time.
thanks. Is there any other public comment to come before the commissioners? Hearing none, seeing none,
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
we are adjourned.